This isn't one of my parody or spoof uploads. This is a serious video to help people understand that how did they know to go where Brian Laundrie was when everybody had been there? And the dogs would have smelled him, and this, that, the other thing. So I'll mention in this, Kenny Veach, but if you have nothing to do with the area of Las Vegas and Kenny Veach, ignore that. But here are some examples why they knew right where to go. They really didn't, but they were in the right spot. Okay, one thing about dogs, searchers, helicopters, you name it, that I uploaded about this girl that was just found after almost a year. And the reason I know about this stuff is because of Kenny Veach. I looked into different missings and stuff like that. But anyway, she was right here up the trail, right where they were looking. Dogs, it works. They brought up it always gets brought up, why no buzzards? Which I pointed out before, that doesn't happen. Also, dogs, when they take them to like a potential drop spot, like on the edge of town, they do take the dogs and walk around, and they can locate bodies and stuff like that. But you can't march them miles into the desert or the swamp and think they're going to follow a scent like you see in Cool Hand Luke. It doesn't happen. That even with Kenny Veach, they took the dogs up to the mine. They didn't follow a scent there. They simply took them there, for 4 miles up. It's not the way it works with dogs. Now, how did they know where to go? But anyway, don't forget this part, that she was right there along the trail and nobody found her. And then they go up and the parents said, it's hard to believe. How could she have been laying there right where we were searching? But she was. Okay, so let's go to Myakahatchee Nature Center. Now I'll mention some random stuff because it doesn't allow you to pause the film to think while you're talking. So they say, well, how did they know to go right there? And it turned out he was right here near the nature center, right where they would have looked first. Well, they did not look there first, and I mentioned that they didn't look there first. They were running all along these roads, looking all over hell and creation when, yes, I did say it. I did say it, that he would be, think like a suicide, that he would be near the car. He would be near the car in this range here. Now here's the bridge they walk over. And so the Laundries walked across the bridge, walked in, and started. I suggested this. It's not like they saw it, but they could do the same thing using their own logic. But I did say, look close to where the car was, entering the reserve. He would not have gone far to commit suicide. And so he was walking in, and then along the trails, walk along the trail, like, could be this one. It doesn't matter if it was this one. It could be this one. Here's the power lines, and so that's where they were pictured, them giving them the bad news. So they walk in on this trail, but they work next to it, under the canopy of trees where he might have went in. Sure enough, that's where he was. So there you go. In the first days, they were going all over the place, and myself, and I don't know if others said it. I don't care. But I said for a suicide, he wouldn't be far. He would be near the car, near the nature center. Okay. The other thing, while it's in my mind, is people go, oh, well, they went in. They knew right where to go. Within reason, they were working their way in. They could have kept going up and up and up and up and up. Now look at Roberta Laundrie. Her backpack was full of like 7 bottles of water. Okay, now if they secretly knew we're going to go in here, off to the left, and he's probably over here on the edge of the water next to this pool, would they have took 7 bottles of water with them, planning for an all-day search? Well, of course not. Now, the way the logic works is, well, it was a setup. That's what they want you to believe. That's why they took those 7 bottles of water, because they wanted people to think they planned on going all day and then came upon them right away. Wrong. they would have kept going in, go over here, go over here, go further, go over here, go over here, which is just what they did. But they found him right away because he was near the car, because he was a suicide. So there you go. And also, the other stuff about the lack of cooperation, they did cooperate with the FBI. And even on the 13th, that when he went in, apparently near dark, that Bertolino did notify the FBI. FBI does not necessarily cooperate with local yokel police because they might spill the beans on a very important case. So the FBI is above local police. So they may have well kept the information secret, but the FBI and Bertolino both say he did tell us, even on the night of the 13th, that he did not return from the hike. And the father did go in to the car at night, that same night, but he didn't go out searching, of course. But he did go to the car, saw the notice. He already suspected that he probably killed himself, and then left because what if Brian returns to no car? So he left the car, but the next day he goes in knowing the truth. Then they drove the car back. So there's more stuff about the case as far as how did they know exactly where to go. They most certainly did not. It's not like they know, well, he was right in here and they didn't tell anybody. No, they were working their way along probably this trail, then working off to the sides, this, that, the other thing. But the 8 bottles of water in her backpack, what? They knew they were going to walk right in. There he is. Come and get him? No, what? 8 bottles of water were fake? So see, people ignore stuff like that. Common sense stuff. But it was well known, at least to me, that he would be close to the car, that it was likely a suicide. I didn't know, but it was likely a suicide.